Jacinta Allan, the Premier of Victoria, stood at the threshold of a new era in politics. After a decade of Labour government, the voters were growing restless, eager for change. Allan knew that her government was at risk of being perceived as tired and stagnant. But she was determined to prove them wrong. The resignation of Tim Pallas, the long-serving treasurer, presented Allan with the perfect opportunity to shake things up. She saw it as a chance to conduct a major reset of her cabinet, to bring in fresh faces and new ideas. The question on everyone's mind was, would it be enough to convince the voters that the Labour government still had something to offer? As Allan set about assembling her new team, she knew that she had to make some bold choices. She needed people who could bring a sense of excitement and renewal to the government. She chose ministers who were not only experienced and competent but also passionate and driven. The new cabinet was a diverse and talented group of individuals, each with their own unique strengths and perspectives. There were veterans of the party, who had spent years fighting for social justice and equality. There were also newcomers, who brought a sense of freshness and idealism to the table. As the new cabinet got down to work, it was clear that they were a force to be reckoned with. They were united in their determination to make a difference, to leave a lasting legacy. They worked tirelessly, pushing through policies and programs that would benefit the people of Victoria. But despite the best efforts, there were still those who doubted them. The opposition was quick to criticize, to claim that the new cabinet was just a rehashing of the old. They said that Allan was just rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, that the government was still headed for disaster. Allan and her team knew that they had a tough road ahead of them. They would have to work hard to convince the voters that they were the right people for the job. But they were determined to do just that. They were confident that the policies and programs would make a real difference in people's lives. As the election loomed closer, the campaign heated up. Allan and her team traveled the state, meeting with voters and listening to the concerns. They debated their opponents, defending their policies and vision for the future. It was a long and grueling campaign, but in the end, it was worth it. The voters of Victoria had spoken, and they had given Allan and her team a resounding mandate. The Labour government had been returned to power, and Allan had proven that she was still a force to be reckoned with. As she stood on the stage, surrounded by her team and supporters, Allan felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. She had faced down the doubters and proven them wrong. She had shown that the Labour government still had plenty to offer, and that she was the right person to lead them. The question on everyone's mind had been answered. Yes, the voters had been convinced by Jacinta Allan's new cabinet. And as she looked out at the sea of faces, Allan knew that she had a bright future ahead of her. As the days turned into weeks, Allan's government set about implementing its vision for the state. The new cabinet worked tirelessly, pushing through reforms and initiatives that would benefit the people of Victoria. And as the results began to flow in, it became clear that Allan's gamble had paid off. The voters had been convinced, and the Labour government was poised for a bright future. Allan's success was not just a victory for her government, but also a testament to her own strength and resilience. She had faced down the doubters and proven them wrong, and in doing so, had cemented her place as one of the most effective and respected leaders in Australian politics.